What's going on, guys? Jack here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to make money in barbering. Something that is asked a lot of the time, or I've even heard assumptions that barbers don't make a lot of money, and it's true, some barbers don't, but it comes down to how you play your situation and how willing you are to take risks. Today I'm going to be talking about 3 different streams of income within barbershops and the pros and cons for each one. So without further ado, let's just get straight into this. The first one I'm going to be talking about is a commission split. So to break it down, a commission split is a percentage split between you and the person that you are working for. So for example, you could have a 60-40 split in your favor. You could have a 70-30 split in their favor. That's how it works. So a certain percentage goes to you and a certain percentage goes to the barber. So one of the pros about a commission split is that your outgoing money is only determined on what you do, and it's not a fixed rate that you have to hit each week in order to sort of make any money. It's good for a certain amount of time, but as I've progressed through, I'll explain to you as to why it may not be. Definitely when you're starting out, a commission split is really good because there are no expectations. You just have time to build up your clientele and slowly watch your income increase. If I'm really honest with you, in my eyes, that is as far as the positives go for a commission split. It's good for starting out, it's good for building a clientele, but that's for me where it stops. I feel that with commission splits, it's only a matter of time before you're doing a lot of work and ending up paying your boss a lot of money. As much as it's nice to feel comfortable within a shop and have a good environment, you can find that certain bosses will take advantage of the fact that you're sticking around and not put your commission up. They'll just keep it the same. And everything is really down to how the boss sees it and how they want to change things. You as the barber wouldn't really have an influence over your commission split. It's purely down to what the boss says it would be. And for me, I like having more control over what I can and can't do or how much money I'm making. That's why after my commission split experience, I wouldn't go back down that route. So now moving on to our next stream of income, and that is a straight wage or a day rate. So this will be every day that you work or every week that you work, you'll earn a set amount of money. And again, a positive from this is you don't have any outgoings. You're not thinking that you have to make a certain amount for the week. You just take that money. But to be fair, the negatives are the same issues as we have with commission splits. So everything comes down to the boss, and a raise is really only considered when you're doing extremely well and not relatively well. A raise could be a further £10, £20 a day, which in the grand scheme of things, yes, it's a raise. Yes, it's good. No one should complain about earning more money. However, that isn't the kind of increase that I would consider to be valuable in the grand scheme of life. You know, an extra 20 quid a week isn't gonna buy you a new car. It will after a long time, but not quickly. The only other good thing about a wage is it really doesn't matter how busy or not busy you are, you always be getting the same money. So if you do the maths, if you're on a £60 day rate and you do £20 haircuts and you do 20 haircuts in a day, that's £400. Minus the 60 that your boss takes out to pay you, that's £340 that they put in their pocket. And this brings us really nicely to the final stream of income, and personally what I do, and that is chair rent or booth rent. That's what they call it in America. Hello to all my American people. So booth rent, I'm gonna call it booth rent. It sounds really cool. Hey man, you got your booth rent this month? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm going crazy. Right. So when it comes to chair rent, I believe that this is the best possible way for you to earn the most amount of money that you can as a barber. But what I put chair rent or booth rent down to is it's very similar to having your own business. So I made the transition from commission and wage, I have done both in the past, to chair rent in July last year, which would be July 2019. And I can honestly say I wouldn't look back. For the first couple months when I was trying to build up my clientele, it was a struggle. And this is why I would say if you can work out a way to be on a commission or be on a wage until you get to a point where you feel your clientele is steady enough to either move on from the shop you're at and look for chair rent or speak to your boss about getting chair rent, you know, it would be really beneficial for you to do that, because the first couple months that I had, I was struggling and you know, I wasn't really making much money, or I was only making enough money to pay my rent at my house and my chair rent. But rest assured, as soon as my clientele started to build, the money started to filter through. It was like this little baby that I was growing. I knew the more effort and time I put into building my clientele, the more income I'm going to make. So that was really a motivator for me to push on and stay consistent with it. In my opinion, chair rent is really good because it stops some of the problems that commission and wages have, of where you're earning the other party, the boss, a lot of money. So if you're on a 50-50 split, for example, and I'm only saying 50-50 because it's quick maths and it's easy, and I'm not very good at maths. I was set 7, so yeah, don't judge me too hard. So if you're on a 50-50 split and you make £400 in a day, the same example I used before, you're going to take £200, which granted is a lot of money, and the boss is going to take £200. That's great, you're making £200. But say if your chair rent was £40 a day, you're making £360. As much as it's a risk to start with, you're making yourself 160 extra pounds. I know it's difficult to make that leap, but for me, the risk is worth it because it's going to pay off in the long run regardless if you're passionate about what you're doing. When you're paying someone rent, it gives you freedom to take days off when you want, to leave the shop early, to come in late, and you don't have to answer to anyone because you're paying that person for the freedom. There's been times where I've had something to do in the evening and I've been able to just book that time out for me to leave early, rather than having to ask my boss, potentially them say no, then I can't make the plans that I'd arranged, then I have to change the plans and I'd be annoyed because my boss said no. It just eliminates all of that drama, all of that stress. You just feel, in my opinion, happier. Of course, there is the potential that your rent could get increased unexpectedly, but usually it won't be by an amount that would justify a commission or a wage being better than the chair rent. The average going rate for chair rents in the UK at least is, I believe, like £200 a week, something along those lines. And honestly, that's so much less than you'll be paying if you're in a busy shop doing 15 to 20 haircuts a day. So yes, you do have an expectation to be making that £200 to put on that person's table every week. But at the same time, you're not going to be putting £500 on their table every week. You're going to be putting less and making more for yourself. As scary as it seems to make that leap of faith to go on your own. On top of this as well, if you're doing out of hours haircuts, if you're coming in early and leaving late and you're really putting that graft in, the money that you're going to be seeing is like nothing you would have ever seen before. It would be way more than you would ever make on a commission split, that's for sure. Because if you came in early or you stayed late, you're still going to be paying a percentage to the owner. But if you're putting in that graft and sacrificing your own time, you are taking all of the profit. I just feel that chair rent is slept on because owners of barbershops don't really want to do it, knowing that it's not going to make them the most money. But if you can find a shop that will give you that offer, hands down, take that offer. If it's anything reasonable, of course. If they're saying like £500 a week, don't take it, it's a bit silly. But yeah, if it's worth it, do it, take it and make that leap and let me know how it goes, because I'm pretty sure that you will reap the benefits. Is that how you say it? I don't even know. It is what it is. But anyways, I hope this video has helped you guys understand a little more about how to make some more money as a barber. And if you guys have any questions about anything I've said, as I know I can be quite confusing at times, please leave them in the comment section below and I will answer them in the best way that I can. But for now guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video and I will speak to you all soon.